The most intelligent people you know share one hidden addiction. And it's not what you think. It's overthinking. In fact, the smarter you are, the better your brain is at constructing elaborate prisons out of hypothetical problems. And most people never realize they're locked inside one. There's a paradox at the center of overthinking that most people never connect. The people most susceptible to overthinking aren't the careless ones. They're the ones who care most about getting it right. The high achievers. The perfectionists. And the reason is simple. Your brain has been trained to believe that more analysis equals better decisions. But here's where it gets interesting. Studies on decision-making show something counterintuitive. When you have sufficient information, which you almost always do, additional analysis doesn't improve your choice. It just increases your confidence in it. You're not gaining clarity. You're gaining false certainty. Think about the last time you spent 45 minutes researching which flight to book, only to save $12. Your brain registered that as productive. But it wasn't. It was mental masturbation dressed as diligence. This is what psychologists call the analysis paralysis loop. And once you're inside it, your brain mistakes motion for progress. Let me show you what's actually happening under the hood. When you face uncertainty, your amygdala, the threat detection center, activates. It sends a signal that says, "We don't have enough information. This could be dangerous." Now, for our ancestors, that made sense. Uncertainty about whether there was a predator behind that bush should make you pause. But in the modern world, that same mechanism fires when you're choosing a career path or deciding whether to send a text. The problem is, the amygdala doesn't have an off switch that says, "Oh wait, this is just a professional decision. Never mind." So it keeps looping. And every time you reanalyze the same problem, you're essentially feeding the amygdala more data to chew on, which only increases the anxiety, which makes you analyze more. This is the cycle. You think you're thinking, but you're actually just spinning. And here's what makes this dangerous for someone watching this channel. Someone driven. Someone who's trying to build something real. Overthinking doesn't just waste time. It trains you to fear action. Every time you choose analysis over movement, you're reinforcing a neural pathway that says, "Before I act, I must be certain." But certainty is a myth. It doesn't exist in any meaningful decision. So what you're actually doing is waiting for a feeling that will never arrive. Now this is where most advice fails. Because when I say stop overthinking, some part of you resists. And that resistance is actually intelligent. Because thinking is good, right? Reflection is how you grow. Self-awareness is a superpower. So let me clear this up with a distinction that changed everything for me. There are two fundamentally different types of thinking, and they look almost identical from the outside. Type 1 is productive reflection. It has a clear question, it explores a limited set of options, and it ends with a decision or a conclusion. You think, you decide, you move on, even if the decision isn't perfect. Type 2 is destructive rumination. It has no boundary. It asks the same question 20 different ways. It circles. It relitigates decisions that are already made. It doesn't end with clarity, it ends with exhaustion. Here's how you spot the difference in your own mind. Productive reflection feels like narrowing. You're eliminating possibilities. The world gets simpler. Rumination feels like expanding. Every answer creates two new questions. The world gets more complicated. Ask yourself right now, when was the last time you thought about a problem for an hour and genuinely felt better at the end? Not more numb. Not more distracted. Actually clearer. If you can't remember, you've been ruminating, not reflecting. So how do you break the loop? The answer is not just stop thinking about it. If you could do that, you would have already. Here are 3 interventions grounded in how your brain actually works. Number 1, time box your decisions. Most overthinkers operate as if a decision is a research project with no deadline. It's not. Give yourself a hard stop. 4 small decisions, 5 minutes. 4 big ones, 24 hours. When the clock hits 0, you act on whatever you have. This works because it forces your prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain, to override the amygdala's endless quest for certainty. Number 2, shift from hypothetical to experiential. Overthinking lives in the future tense. What if this happens? What if that goes wrong? These are questions no amount of thinking can answer. You can only answer them by doing. The moment you take action, even imperfect action, you convert an infinite loop into a finite experiment. You get data. You get real information. And your brain can finally stop spinning and start learning. Number 3, name the cost. Most of us only measure the cost of a bad decision. We never measure the cost of no decision. But indecision is a choice. And it's usually the most expensive one. When you're stuck in a loop, ask yourself, what am I losing by not deciding right now? Time, momentum, optionality, peace of mind. Put a price tag on your overthinking. Once you see what it's actually costing you, the loop loses its appeal. But here's the real shift, the one that makes everything else stick. Most people try to stop overthinking with tactics. They use timers. They journal. They distract themselves. Those help, but they're surface level. The deeper shift is identity. Stop telling yourself, I'm an overthinker. That identity is a permission slip. Every time you claim it, you give yourself an excuse to stay in the loop. Instead, tell yourself, I'm someone who moves before I feel ready. Because here's what the people who build things understand that overthinkers don't. Confidence doesn't precede action. Action precedes confidence. You don't think your way into certainty. You act your way into it. Overthinking is the tax you pay on a gift you're afraid to open. Your intelligence, your drive, your capacity to see nuance. Those are real strengths. But left unchecked, they become your ceiling. The goal isn't to stop thinking. It's to think just enough, and then move. If this hit home for you, hit that like button and subscribe for more practical psychology on habits, mindset, and growth. Drop a comment below. What's one decision you've been overthinking recently? Let me know, and let's close the loop right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.